what I kind of wanted to talk about today was consistency. It's been up and down with being consistent with things throughout my whole life. Recently, I've been a lot more consistent with things. I'm noticing the importance of it versus when I would start something and I would never finish it, or I would, want to do something every day and then I would do it for a couple of days and then fall off and kind of talk myself out of doing it. I really believe that success in anything is built in consistency. It doesn't have to be huge things you're doing every day, but a little every day over time is going to add up to something big. I believe it was Mel Robbins' podcast. I love her, so I listen to her a lot. But it was her podcast that said, motivation isn't always going to be there, but you have to be consistent anyway. I think that's where discipline comes in as well. It's really about showing up even when the motivation isn't there, because it's not always going to be there. There's going to be days, like I just recently joined the gym again. I took over a year off. So joined the gym and I've been consistent with it so far. It was only a week ago that I joined. We're getting there. Like this morning, the time that I go to the gym is at like 4:30 in the morning because it is literally the only time that I have to go. I went to bed a little later than usual last night and I really didn't want to get up this morning. Didn't feel like it. But I did, and I went to the gym and it just sets my day. So it was well worth it. But it's easy to see like how not being consistent with something can make you just slip back into your old ways. And it just means like doing small things a little every day. Basically, it just means not quitting. Doing it even when you don't want to. Having the discipline to do things even when the motivation or the inspiration isn't there. It's gonna be that discipline, like, hey, I need to get up, I need to do this, this, and this every day in order to see progress over time. Because once you're doing the progress over time, that starts to build momentum. And when you get that momentum going, it's gonna up your confidence, which is going to up your ability to stay disciplined and stay consistent with things, which is going to give you more momentum, which is going to up your confidence, to a level where you need to be at to move on to the next level or move on to the next step in reaching your goal. And being consistent will train your brain to trust you. If you think about it, if you say, okay, starting Monday, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week or 4 days a week, or I'm going to not eat as much sugar, especially this time of year. It's hard to do with those amazing Christmas cookies, but you gotta do it. I'm not a big candy person. Like suckers, sweet tarts, Jolly Ranchers, like that kind of candy, I can easily say no to, except for Tootsie Rolls. Don't get me started. Those are my weakness. So are Oreos and Milky Ways and Three Musketeers. But that's that, okay? Just those 4 pieces of candy and I'm good to say no to anything else. Anyway, being consistent will train your brain to trust you. So for example, if you say, I am going to eat less sugar, your brain, your body is saying, okay, cool, she's gonna eat less sugar. Your brain is saying it subconsciously, I don't know. But when you say that and you're good for like a day or two, and then you start eating the sugar again and eating more candy, you kind of internally disappoint yourself. It might be subconscious because honestly, I don't know how all that works, but you kind of disappoint yourself and you learn not to trust yourself. Well, I said I'm going to do this, but I didn't. I'm not reliable. You start having those thoughts go through your head. I'm not reliable. I'm not consistent. I don't trust myself, which can really put you down a negative path. But if we do little things every day towards your goal, towards your big goal. So like you don't want to think about it as I have to do this big goal. How am I going to do it? It can be very overwhelming. And I'm talking from experience. Like all my videos are from personal experience. I have big goals that I don't think I told anybody about, except for my husband. Making big goals can feel very overwhelming because you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? When am I going to do that? Where's the money going to come from that? Like all these thoughts running through your head. If you do a little bit every day toward that big goal, it breaks it down for you in smaller steps, which can feel a lot less overwhelming. And once you accomplish those little goals, it makes you trust yourself a little more. And it kind of gives you that momentum and that confidence to move on and work toward other goals as well. What happens when we actually are consistent? Well, we start seeing small wins, which then will fuel bigger wins. Say, for example, for me with the gym, I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle back. So instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? And you think about all the clean eating you have to do and really keeping an eye on what you're eating, clean eating. It can become very overwhelming, especially because maybe you haven't done that before, or whatever your goal is that you want to reach. So a small win for me would be just moment to moment. Wake up in the morning, small win. Don't hit the snooze button 3 times. Get ready, go to the gym, do your workout. That's a small win. And then throughout the day with the clean eating, don't have it in your house then. For me, it's out of sight, out of mind. If it's not in the house, I'm not gonna go out and buy it. If it's not there, I'm not gonna eat it. Perfect. So right now there's no Oreos in the house and there's no Tootsie Rolls either. No, it's not because I ate them all already. There's only 4, the big ones. I don't wanna talk about it. Okay, but doing this too, you learn skills that you never knew you had. Again, you start to trust yourself and you realize, oh my gosh, I am capable of doing this. You start to have more control of your life, which is what we all want. We don't want to spiral out of control and whatever the case is, binge eating, binge scrolling, I don't know. And once you start building that momentum from being consistent, and once you start having that confidence, it's gonna open up so many more opportunities for you. And the opportunities are gonna show up because you're in motion. You're putting things out there in the universe that God's able to work with, and because he's able to work with them, he's gonna give you more. It's like a flow. You put something out there, he has something to work with, now he can make something out of it and give it back. And then you take that opportunity and you build from it, you put it out there, and then he has that and he can build it back and give it back to you. And you become the person from saying, oh, I wish I was more consistent with it, I just always tend to give up, to having a new mindset saying, I'm someone who follows through with what I say I'm gonna do. What happens when we're not consistent? When we're not consistent, I feel like restarting, like starting something over, makes it 10 times harder than if you were just to be consistent the first time. Because if you stop being consistent and you stop doing something, it you kind of feel bad about yourself and you put yourself down, and then starting over just is a lot harder because you have that thought in the back of your head, well, what if I don't do this again? What if and then you already have those negative thoughts, and then most likely it's going to happen again. So being consistent, you just have to break that negative thought pattern and that cycle and stick with it. You have the guilt, you have the frustration, and you have that feeling of being stuck where you are because you put yourself down and you didn't stay consistent with something. We end up breaking trust with ourselves, which you then put yourself down even more, and you get depressed, you get anxious, and all these negative feelings start arising because you weren't consistent with what you really truly wanted to do. I feel like this makes your dreams feel farther away than what they actually are. But you can start again. And I encourage you to start again, because everyone has so much potential in them. Everyone is on this earth for a purpose and for a reason. And if you're having trouble finding what your dream is or what your goals are, what do you enjoy doing? You have to do some self-reflection. What do you enjoy doing? What lights you up? What brings you to life? For me, it's the photography, nature photography, scuba diving, water, being out in nature, conservation. When I'm doing those things, even when I'm talking about those things, it just brings my whole body to life. Like I get goosebumps, I just get tingly all over. I love it. That's how you know, like that's your thing. So it could be an event planner. You love planning parties for people. That can be your thing. Or baking, open up a bake shop. That can be your thing. It doesn't have to be singing or dancing or anything extravagant. If you're a good listener, maybe you can be a good therapist. Like, you don't know, whatever that thing is inside of you that lights you up, that is your calling. So I feel like there's traps, I'll call them traps, that ruin consistency. The first thing being a mindset of all or nothing kind of thinking. That's kind of like, if I don't do X and Y by this date, then it's not gonna happen, which isn't true because you don't know when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen. That's not up to you, it's up to God. I wouldn't even recommend doing that. I wouldn't, it's gonna stress you out. And I know because I'm talking from experience and I did that before. The how and the when, don't worry about. It will happen, but you have to work toward it, little at a time. Don't think about the end goal. Don't think about when or where the money is going to come from. It'll happen. It'll happen. You have to have faith. Another thing you don't want to do is compare yourself to others, especially on social media. You don't want to, follow someone who is doing what you dream about doing. For me, it was with photography, underwater photography. I would see all these beautiful pictures of these underwater photos and these photographers they have, top of the line equipment, and they live on the beach, they live on an island, they're coastal, which is the complete opposite of where I live right now. So comparing yourself, even if you don't intentionally do it, subconsciously, it's really bad for you. You have those thoughts that are circling around in your head, and without you even realizing it, it's putting you down. And this is something that I eventually did realize that was happening. So I don't look at their pictures anymore, their underwater photography. Every now and then I will, but now I'm trying to change my mindset where I am happy for them and I'm not like, oh, I wish that was me, or just comparing yourself to others, because I'm doing my own thing and I'm on my own path. So I'm more happy for them than like, oh, I wish it was me. I wish. It's not going to get you anywhere. Another trap that can ruin consistency is being impatient or wanting results too fast. The timeline of when your goals are going to be met and your dream is going to happen, it's not up to you. The when is not up to you. You have to have faith, even in the hard times. You just have to keep going. I tell my kids all the time to never, ever give up. Even, if they're playing a video game or if they are doing something hard in school, I said, you learn by making mistakes. You learn by those fails. Don't quit. Take what you learn and do it again and try again, because eventually it's going to hit and you're going to do it. But wanting results too fast, it's going to put you in an anxious state. Your job is to just work toward your goals a little bit every day and not give up. Put yourself out there, be consistent, be disciplined, because there's days where you're not going to want to do it, but you have to think of your end goal and how happy it would make you, and just don't give up. How you can rebuild consistency even if you've fallen off, which I have probably 100 times, probably more than 100 times. You have to start with one action, even if it's a small one. Do it every day. When you do something every single day, over the days, over the weeks, the months, the years, it's going to build up and you will see a significant difference versus starting for 3 or 4 days, stopping, waiting a month, starting again, and you're good for 2 weeks, and then stopping, and then waiting 2 months. You know what I mean? So you have to do a little bit every day. You have to have the discipline, because there's going to be days where you're not going to want to do it. I promise you that. You have to do it though. You have to do it. You have to not let your emotions get the best of you. You also have to remove the shame. Consistency is a skill. It's not a personality trait. If you're one of those people who constantly start things but never finish them, it's just a learned behavior. So it's something that can be changed. It's not like I was born being inconsistent and this is just how I am for the rest of my life. No, absolutely flippin' no. You can change it. It's going to take a lot of work, but you can change it. You have to want it enough. And this is where it goes to, if you think about your dreams and your goals, is it more important for you to get to the end of your life and think back on your entire life? What will you be happy with? Will you be happy where you are right now? Will you be happy not going for your dreams and not going for your goals? Or will you be miserable because you didn't go for them and you wish you could have. You know, you think, oh, if I just would have done this, if I just would have done this, this every day. So do it now. Do it now when you can and when you're able to. When I get to the end of my life and I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to look back on my life and think, I wish I would have done it. I wish I would have went for it. You're able to do it now and go for it now, so go for it. And like, this is real life. I'm a wife, a mom of 2. I work a full-time job. I have a house, and just being all of that, it's real life. Like, working toward your goals and your dreams it's not always going to be easy, which is why choosing intention over perfection is also important. If you have good intentions, that's all you need. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going and not giving up. Your dream is worth you showing up for it. If your dream means as much to you as my dream does to me, just go for it, because I know how you feel. If that's how you feel about something, make it happen. Your future self will 100% thank you. Just imagine if you start working towards your goals and you start staying consistent with them. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Where will you be? What mindset will you have? And think, what's one small thing that I can do today? I hope this helps, guys. Remember, staying consistent is extremely important, even when the motivation isn't there. Having the discipline, working towards your goals a little bit every day is going to add up over time. It's going to build momentum. It's going to build confidence. You're going to be able to trust yourself again, and you're going to learn new things about you along the way.